glory, star, and destiny are all the same things and will be used interchangeably throughout this post. Growing up as a child in Jamaica, I remember some warnings my mother gave to us. The first warning we had even gotten a beating for was, never eat from anyone. The other one, among many, was, do not allow anyone to touch you in your head or comb your hair unless I approve. Most Jamaican children received these warnings from their parents. But even as a child, if I sat down with my legs stretched out and someone walked over me, something about this would make me angry. Somewhere deep within, I knew that stepping across another person's body was not a good thing to do. As I grew and came into consciousness, I realized that even someone resting themselves on your shoulder, even in a loving way, is not good at all. It is symbolism of holding someone down and making them stagnant, however it does not mean that the person doing it has this intention. All of this that I have stated here can be a negative towards the person that it is being done to in more ways than one. One of the ways that can harm a person for the rest of their lives is having a person's glory, or star, destiny, switched. Now, I am not telling you that every time you eat from someone, or someone crosses over you, or someone rests their arm on your shoulder, that your destiny is being tampered with. No. What I am telling you is that people can use style, by having loaded themselves ritualistically to steal your star, then they can do any of the above combinations as trickery. What happens as a result is that person begin to rise while the other becomes stagnant. This is a case of glory exchange, where one person steals the bright star of another and hands them their own ill luck in return. However, there are also some people with naturally malevolent thoughts and feelings who can also affect a person's destiny even unintentionally. These dark thoughts can be projected, even unintentionally, onto another person. Such is the case where my older sister complimented my skin while curling my hair, and somehow immediately after that statement, the iron fell right on my leg, marring the skin she had just complimented. Jamaican people used to say that if someone gives them clothes, the person has given them, dem wearin, left, in other words, their hand-me-downs. Both descriptions does not sound good to the ear as it all implies poverty. Giving away one's clothing is never good and accepting is also not good. The giver should not use what he has sweat in and give to another person, no matter the family connection. And the taker should not accept the hand-me-down. This is yet another way of removing goodness that one has brought from heaven with them. The giver would have given away his goodness not even realizing that this is what he has done. Doing this is a sweat exchange, no matter if the clothes has been cleaned. The word sweat is put in quotations because it is not literal sweat I speak of. Here, sweat means energy transference, image source, power of positivity. This is how it works. Barbara has a wedding gown. She has been married for 10 years. Nancy, her sister, is now engaged to be married, and so Barbara now decides to lend Nancy her wedding gown. Barbara's marriage is okay. It is loving, but there are small problems, as usual, within their new family, or perhaps in the back of Barbara's mind, she made a mistake getting married. However, because of her religion or culture, she must remain married. Yet the feeling of unfulfillment persists. But now she hands her wedding gown, which represents her marriage and all that she is, to Nancy. Nancy now marries the love of her life wearing her dear sister's wedding gown. However, a year into Nancy's marriage, Nancy and her husband separates and are heading towards divorce. All of this came through energy transference of this one wedding gown passing along the unfulfillment of Barbara's life, which she has kept hidden inside of her. How? Barbara, regardless of the fact that she has not shared how she feels with anyone, the wedding gown that she wore that changed her life from a single woman to a married woman, now represents the base of her unhappiness, and now she has passed it along. Nancy, who would have had a bright future with her husband, now carries Barbara's load. And so now, their destinies have been shared. Now, there are many competent practical spiritualists. Noun, obia, a name taken from Jamaican patois to denote a spiritual practice often used for negative outcomes against others, but can also be used for positive outcomes. Other similar words practices are juju, voodoo, witchcraft, native doctors, etc. It is the manipulation of energy using physical tools and incantations for a desired effect. It is a mysterious and unstructured form of spiritual practice, as often practitioners do not have specific spirits, deities, beings that are assigned to carry out the abia work, which leaves the work to be contracted by any spirit, wayward, malevolent or otherwise. Class equals glossary link greater than abia men or women, who knows or have the knowledge of how to switch two destinies through spiritual work. This has been practiced throughout the world for ages. There are many people sitting in high seats or high positions, but those seats do not belong to them. If you delve into their background, you might find that they had a cousin that died horribly, a sister who is crazy, or someone close to them who is stagnant in their life, while this person continues to rise higher and higher. This particular work is not only for wealth, but can also be for more life and health. So imagine Jerry, who is 30 years old, but he is very ambitious and wants to accumulate as much as possible and live long to enjoy it. He now meets Anna. She is 21, young, vibrant and also ambitious. She loves him and they now form a relationship. However, Jerry now visits an abia man and tells him, "I want to be rich and I also want to have long life so that I can enjoy my wealth." The abia man scratches his head and tells him, "Listen, your destiny is not for wealth. However, if you are willing to do what I tell you, you can have both wealth and long life." The abia man will now tell him, "Give me 5 names of people that you are close to or people that you love." Without explaining his further intentions, the abia man will now search the 5 names and see which of them have a bright star, or bright destiny. The abia man now determines that Anna is destined for greatness. Wealth abound and long life is written in Anna's star. And so he now instructs Jerry to come back to him over a course of time to perform several rituals. Perhaps, some of them involving items belonging to Anna. However, he also instructs Jerry to marry Anna. From there, Jerry's business begins to grow and he becomes successful and very wealthy. Anna, however, loses all drive and determination for anything. Strangely, everything she touches turns to ashes. The only money that she can spend is what her husband gives to her. Though her husband is very wealthy, she is very unhappy. Throughout her life, she is dependent on him for everything. Eventually, by the time Anna gets to 35, she becomes very ill. She battles this illness to the age of 40 where she dies. If Anna was supposed to live to 100, those years along with the wealth she was destined for has been given over to her husband, Jerry. Although she came to the earth with a bright star and to make an impact on the world, her star had been switched with Jerry's. These cases are very common. Also, I should note, the abia man suffers no repercussion for the work he did. It is the human who has employed him that will later on feel everything he has done. There are times when you see wealthy people or people who seem as if they are enjoying their life in a particular way, or even some people who have outlived everyone in their family. Not all cases. Someone's star, destiny has been switched. They say this all the time within Hollywoods all over the world, and celebrities who bloom while their partners or others have either died, became addicted to drugs, or simply become worthless or fall considerably in their status. Perhaps such is the case with a particular famous family? There are many possibilities of switching or sharing destinies. It can even be from a person who makes a careless speech at the moment a malevolent being passes by. For example, a sister could lament about her own life and wonder why her younger sister's life is so much better. She could then wish that she had her younger sister's life instead. A malevolent being passing through can accept this utterance as a job and act on it, switching both destinies of the sisters. A person whose destiny has been switched will be plagued by nightmares and terrible dreams that does not make them feel good. This is because this person's noun, ori is a Yoruba concept of one's inner consciousness. Ori literally translates to head in Yoruba. It is also considered to be a divinity, the one that leads and guides you throughout your life. It is possible to come to Earth with either a very strong Ori, head, or a very weak Ori, class equals, glossary link, greater than Ori would have been fighting for them to get their noun. Every human being has a personal star upon coming to Earth. Star means light or light consciousness and pursuant to a person's journey on Earth and the impact she has come to make. The brighter the star, light, the greater the impact one will make on Earth. Bright stars also mean those born for wealth, status, fame, to make a great impact on the world, such as Buddha, or otherwise. Earthly impacts due to a bright star does not have to mean a positive action, i.e., spiritual leader. It matters the effect caused by a person's actions or presence on a large number of people. Those with dimmer stars may not be born for wealth, status or otherwise, but are born for impactful purposes on a smaller or more personal scale that does not require grandeur. Class equals glossary link, greater than stars back. This person will feel unfulfilled most of their life or feel as if they are searching for something that they cannot find. Oftentimes, you will see a person have some sort of diagnosis or personality disorder. These are also signs of people not aligned with their destiny. Something has been tampered with. Be careful of the person who makes your favorite dessert and brings it to you without you requesting it. Or be careful of some of your items going missing, never to be found again. Watch your dreams carry, because most often when your star has been switched, your Ori will alert you. I advise noun, dv ni, n, the practice of seeking knowledge and clarity of the past, present, or future through spiritual means. Divination types can widely vary but are often sacred objects, elements of nature, or persons. Class equals glossary link, greater than divination as much as you can from competent people to keep a watch not only over yourself, but also those you love and care for. Mothers, be careful of the child you pamper over the other. Children are most vulnerable to glory swaps or sharing. Children born for greatness can grow up to be derelicts, prostitutes, or anything less than who they are meant to be. This was one case that I had written about before about family I knew. A little girl saw angels and would speak to them. Foolishly, the child's mother told the mother of a church, not knowing this woman was wicked. The woman oohed and awed at the child's ability and told the child's mother to bring her to church the next day. She did as told, and in the middle of the service, the mother of the church took the child from her mother's grasp, laid the child on the ground and walked over her back and forth 3 times. That child never spoke of angels again. Now all grown up, she has had hundreds of boyfriends.